afternoon and welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at TGO Top Gun Options. Hopefully everybody had a safe and happy Halloween. I had a great night last night with actually first Halloween in 18 years without my son Matthew, but he was there in spooky spirit. That's his hockey stick and his helmet there. But my son Jack went as what's his name, Bob Ross, the painter Bob Ross. There's no such thing as mistakes, just happy little accidents, right? And then my daughter Keely was Rey from Star Wars, and of course I was what? I was an American Dad. Anyway. So talk about trick or treat, man. You wake up today and apparently the president picked up the phone, called President Z. Call me a cynic, but the president picking up the phone and calling President Xi to talk about, potentially getting a good deal or meeting at the G20 summit at the end of this month down in Argentina. A little bit of right in front of the elections, trying to get this market off the mat here. So the market reaction today, obviously positive move out of the market on the president. I've been saying this all along, folks. When, not if, when we get a deal done with China, we will see a rip your face off rally. Like that's going to make 2017 look like a bear market. So that's one of the things, the big worries in the market is this extended, prolonged trade war. So the president, hey, good call. We're scheduling meetings at the G20. The Chinese leader came out a little while ago and through state media said, yeah, we might meet at the G20, and it was a similar-ish response, but not super as over-the-top bubbly as the president. Shocker, of course. So the FXI, which is what we've been short and we've been selling into every one of these pops, I would still sell into this pop. Folks, we are literally a month away from those guys meeting, and this hey, we're going to meet maybe at the end of the month, pop will be short-lived. Right? The Chinese economy is way slowing down. We saw a GDP print, was it last week? That was absolutely awful. And it looked like the PBOC was having to maybe jump in to save capitalism here. This week, we got bad PMI numbers. They're getting very, very close to a 50. And a PMI number of a 50 means the economy is contracting. So just skimmed above 50. So on the verge of a sub 50 contraction. And of course, earlier this week, President Xi threw on a uniform and said, hey, you guys got to get ready for war. So I get it. It's all posturing and, we'll outlast the U.S. in any trade war and we're ready for a real war. Great. So big pop today out of FXI. I'd sell into it. I'm currently holding a bear call spread that's out a couple weeks because any one of these pops has been short-lived. I'm not going to sit here and document each one of these. Watch some of the old sit reps. Every one of these pops has been followed by a drop. And there's your overall trend until they get a deal done and until the Chinese economy starts turning around. I believe FXI goes lower. All right. So beat that dead horse. Gotta love Brazil, man. We'll dig graves. What did the president say about criminals? I'm going to kill them. So, I mean, I've been to Brazil a couple times on the road from Sao Paulo down to Santos, where I gave a couple speeches. I didn't drive through, but at least on the main highway, you could see these favelas, man, and it's brutal. But this dude's like, hey, we're just going to start shooting people. What do you say? He's like, some other guy's like, hey, somebody walking down the street in one of these favelas ostentatiously with an AK or something like that deserves to be shot. So this is going to be interesting. The dude's talking tough on crime. He's talking tough on markets, and wanting to really kind of be the Trump of the tropics. So God bless him. I wish him all the best, and certainly hope he does well. So I'm looking forward to success in Brazil and our EWZ trade. We have a Jan 21 trade on that's looking great. We had a awesome one day. It was not a 1 day. It was a 2-hour trade on Monday. I predicted the market, the EWZ would do a little bit of a sell on the news, and it did on Monday. We were in and out for a 68%, $2,200 gain in 2 hours. And then we turned around the next day and got bullish. And since we got bullish, the EWZ is up about another 6%. So off to the races with the EWZ. Great trades with the EWZ this week here at Top Gun Options. So seen a little bit of a rally. I do not think this is the all clear. All the folks that are smarter than I am believe that we will retest these lows. That will be a bottom. If we retest these lows, great. Remember, markets take an escalator up and the window down. I don't think we're going to take an elevator back up to where we were and just get back on our climb schedule here. We've got the elections next week. Going to see a lot of mud throwing in front of that. But I think we're going to retest the lows there, because this wasn't really panic, guys. I've been saying this since the sell-off began. I said, this is not panic, man. This is not institutional selling. This is mom and pop selling. We said this. I called this the whole time. And then seeing this Wall Street Journal article yesterday brought a smile to my face. I'm like, maybe the Wall Street Journal is a member of Top Gun Options, because we said this. I said this, and looking at the options market and everything, that there was no way in hell this was panic. So does this bounce mean the sell-off is over? I'm saying no. I'm not any super chartist technician here, but I fully believe this bounce really isn't that significant. I think we need to retest the lows before we go higher. And, as Trump did a little bit of a cynical move today with the, hey, I picked up the phone and called the president of China, that should tell you something right there. He did that. Check this out. Kudlow's blaming what? The stock dip on election jitters. That's what's the blame for the stock market. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the president was ripping the Fed apart, right? I thought it was because the Fed's looking at raising interest rates and unwinding their balance sheet. So let's get our story straight. It's one or the other. And also in that interview, Kudlow said the president hasn't picked up the phone to call the Fed chief yet. So what's that mean? If we know the guy's going to crank up interest rates in December, that's a foregone conclusion. We need to see what the language says, right? If Powell says, well, we're going to hang out and maybe take a look at things and blah, blah, blah. If he's nice, we're good to go. If he's not nice, the market might be in a little bit of trouble there. And, of course, Janet Yellen at a Schwab conference this week kind of poked back at the president a little bit and supported her colleague and friend, Jerome Powell, to stay the course and not give in to political wins and stuff like that. Well, yeah, we'll see. Not given the political wins. Ms. Powell and Ben Bernanke under Barack Hussein Obama kept interest rates at near zero and pumped money into the stock markets. Don't give me any crap about not being political, Fed. So interesting week. Now that most earnings are over with, I think we're going to see S&P 500 companies get back in and start buying shares of their own company. That's going to help us find the bottom here. Is stocks jumping back in to buy, or companies jumping back in to buy their own stock, okay? And today, obviously, the big gorilla in the room are Apple earnings after the bell here. I think Apple is your serial under-promise and over-deliver. That's and it's funny because in this entire earnings season, every day it seems like the idiots in the financial media have sat here and said, well, maybe these earnings will save us, or these earnings, and they haven't yet. That wasn't a Facebook saved. Facebook earnings were bad, in my opinion. All these financial analysts digging through a big pile of crap to find a pony somewhere. Keep digging, man. The pony's in there somewhere. There's a ton of crap, and I'd be a seller, and have been a seller of Facebook for the past 6 months. This thing, it's done with. Mark Zuckerberg's got to go. That's how Facebook survives, is they put an adult in charge. Tomorrow we get unemployment numbers and then unemployment rate, but this is the big number I'm going to be watching tomorrow. Average hourly earnings. We put on a bullish spread on Visa a little while ago in our 1 p.m. Live trade brief, kind of a seasonal trade as Visa gets ready for the holiday season. And then what? We put on an Amazon trade yesterday, accelerated retirement, up another 4%. What was it? A couple hours ago, it feels like Amazon was down at 1,500, man. We broke 1,500, actually, bottomed out at the upper 1,400s there. It's at 1,662. Man, that is a rip-your-face-off rally. And remember, these things usually fade, so this might be a little bit of a fade here too. If it keeps going, great. I mean, we have a Super Bowl put spread that's looking great on Amazon. Again, kind of a seasonal trade. Halloween over, November 1st, Christmas. couple weeks, we're going to be treated to scenes of people beating the hell out of each other to save $10 on a flat screen at Walmart. It's just not good. But anyway, so folks, we're having a great time here. Like I said, we're doing some good work here at Top Gun Options with some really good trades recently. Like I said, the weekly options trade just Monday afternoon, $2,200 on limited risk. It was $2,200 profit on $5,000 in risk. That is a hell of a return in 2 hours. So if you want to take a quick peek and do a drive-by of Top Gun Options, just head here, go.topgunoptions.com/goflight. And for $38, you can get access for 2 weeks into our live trading services here. Okay. So, all right, folks, I got to run. We have full throttle training tonight at 7 for my members. So make sure I think we're doing long call diagonals and synthetic stocks. So make sure you either attend tonight or you watch the replay. And if you actually take a test flight today, if you're not a member, you'll get access to our training tonight. Okay. So have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow for Friday's market wrap up.